also engage and build the NFT capabilities as part of our sub practices. And most of the folks here are part of my sub practice, right, where we are focused on building capability, talent
Mm-hmm.
around performance, SRE, security, DevOps, etc. That's
Okay.
about me.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So now I understand that most of you guys are from the monitoring team, performance team. You're already familiar with.
Nitin, you may be speaking on mute.
Oh, can you hear me now? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, Nitin.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now
Yes, Nitin. Yeah.
I have a
Yes, Nitin.
background that you guys are already familiar with monitoring tools, right? So you have already applied certain SRE, aspects. So we will start now. Yeah. So how the session will happen? So I explain things on this whiteboard. Is this whiteboard visible to everyone? Yeah. Where I'm drawing SRE. Yeah, it's visible.
Yes, Nitin.
Yes.
Yes, Nitin.
Perfect. So I'm going to draw here. I'm going to explain all the things here, and then we are going to go back to the slides. Okay. Then we are going to read the slides. You will get familiar with the keywords because keywords are very important for your exam, right? So right now we are targeting SRE Foundation exam. Okay, that's the target here. After this course, you will be able to go for that exam, right? Which is which will have at least 40 questions. Okay, 40 questions you will have. Now, passing this exam is not based on how much capable you are on the SRE concepts. It's all about the keywords, guys. Okay, so you might have the best knowledge, but if you do not get familiar with the keywords, you will fail the exam. So that's why I go through the presentation as well. So I explain things here, then we go back to the presentation. Okay, that's how we sync up. Now, during the session, you will have breaks, right? So you will get your 30 minutes break to have a lunch. So at what time do you want me to give you that break?
I think
11
12:30
a.m.
to
and
be.
1 p.m.
11, sorry, 11 a.m.,
Yeah. Yeah, 1 p.m. should be fine.
1 p.m. All right, perfect then. So 1 p.m. you get your lunch break. Okay, so now let's start. SRE. So SRE is Site Reliability Engineering.
I just wanted to ask, are we good to record the session as well?
I have started the recording. I'll share it with you guys. Yeah,
Okay, sure.
yeah.
Thank you.
So it's all about you making your systems, your applications reliable, available, based on the SLAs you have agreed with your customers. Now, SLAs are your service level agreements. These are your formal documents, or you can say legal documents. It's a formal and legal agreement with your customer that at this level you are going to deliver the service, and then customer is going to pay in dollars. Is that understood? SLA, this term? I hope it's very familiar. Is there anyone who does not know SLA? Okay, I take silence as no. So SLAs are agreed level of service you have with your customer. Now, if you deliver that the service with that quality, you get paid by the customer. Otherwise, there will be penalties. Okay, that's SLA. Now, in order to achieve that SLA within your organization, so this is your organization and this is your customer's organization. In order to achieve this formal document, this legal agreement, you assign SLOs. SLOs are service level objectives. Now these are internal to your teams. Are you with me? So SLOs are internal, SLAs are external. Okay, now these are not legal documents. It could be informal as well. So you decide between your teams that what is the SLA for incident management, what is the SLA for problem management, what is the SLA for monitoring team, right? What is the SLA for change management? So all these practices which help us in maintaining our services, in managing our services, to make our services reliable, available all the time. These are called SLOs. Then comes next one, which is SLIs, service level indicators. So service level indicators are your matrices which talks about what is your current situation, what is your current achievement, where do you stand right now. Okay, so we are going to deep dive in these three concepts in our upcoming you know in upcoming slides. Yeah, but just for the sake of understanding what are these terms from the basics of it, this is the difference between SLA, SLO, SLI. Okay, now what is SRE? To understand SRE, we have to first understand different models. So we had waterfall model earlier, right? So waterfall model is what? Is top-down approach. What is top-down approach? It means that you plan, you design, you code, you test, and then you release, right? So top-down means if you are here at this step, you can't go back. That's the drawback of top-down, and that is why waterfall is unlikely in software engineering or software development. So we don't want that. Why? Because at the beginning, we have an expectation. At the beginning, that we want to develop an application, we want to develop a software, let's suppose Teams. So at the beginning, in the planning phase, we engage with the customer here. Customer gives us the requirements and we capture it in business analysis practice. So the BA gets engaged with the customer, customer gives the inputs that this is how the Teams application should behave. And from there, once the planning is done, there is no customer. There is no customer, we do it. Whatever we have planned for the project, for the application, we follow that. We design, we code, we test, and then at the release, we again meet the customer here. So there is a big gap. So let's suppose we took requirements on 1st of January 2025 and we are delivering it on September 25, right? Let's suppose there is a big gap. During this gap, there could be new requirements, there could be changes in the market or fluctuations in the market. Depending upon that, customer want to make changes, and changes are not embraced in top-down approach. Are you with me? Or any questions? No? All right. Now, to overcome that challenge, we have another approach which is called Agile. Now, what is Agile? Agile is a big umbrella. Consider it as an umbrella. It's a big house. Under this umbrella, we have a lot of frameworks, principles, techniques, practices. For example, we have Scrum, we have Lean Startup, we have Extreme Programming, we have Kanban, right? There are lots of frameworks we have in Agile, under Agile. So it's a big umbrella. Now we use these frameworks, principles, practices to adopt it to make more frequent changes in the software development environment. Okay, so how things happen in Agile? In Agile, we break things into multiple pieces. So let's suppose we have to develop this car. Let's suppose we have to build this car. In waterfall, we have to plan then for the entire project and then we move on to delivering each and every component of this car. But in Agile, what we do, we break it into multiple pieces based on what is more important. We prioritize like P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, and then we put it in a backlog called product backlog. So let's suppose what's the most important thing at the beginning? The most important thing at the beginning is the design of the car. So we put design as P1 activity, right? Then what's the next thing? I think next is chassis, that's P2. Then the body of the car, P3. Then the engine of the car, P4. Then what else? Tires of the car, P5. You see, then what else? A lot of things like seats, seat belts. So we prioritize it based on that. So whatever comes first, whatever is the first priority, we start the iterations from that component. We do things in iteration. So in iteration one, we are going to develop the design. So we develop the design. We again go back to the customer. Hey customer, we are ready with the design. Do you like this? Customer says yes. Then we move on to the next iteration. Are you with me, guys?
Yes, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So in iterations, we take feedback. Every iteration, we take a feedback. We call this a sprint in Agile. You can call it anything, but it's a sprint or iteration. So in loop, we are coming up with a lot of feedback from the customer. Then we are learning from that feedback. Then we are implementing that in the next sprint, and it goes on and on and on. Now, what's the difference between Agile? The major difference is that in waterfall, you plan for the whole project. You plan for the whole application. But in Agile, you plan for the horizon, which means you plan until you see clearly. For example, if there is a project of 6 months, in waterfall we will plan for the next 6 months and then we follow the plan. In agile, we plan for just next 7 days, next 5 days, next 10 days, till the time we have clarity that okay, that's what we are going to create. We plan for that moment only. That's the difference. Now why? Because agile is change friendly. Customer wants changes in the application more frequently. Customer is not clear about what needs to be created, developed. They are experimenting. That's where we apply agile, right? And then we have at the end, which most of the organization have adopted, we call it a hybrid model. Hybrid is nothing but just a combination of waterfall plus agile. So organizations, they tailor the ways of working, whichever works for them, they customize it. They keep certain concepts from agile, they keep certain concepts from waterfall, they club it together and call it hybrid. There is no formula which talks about how agile should be adopted, or sorry, how hybrid should be adopted, because hybrid is something which is customization. You do it for your organization, right? So you might have certain ways of working in your organization right now, right? So during the training, do not apply those ways of working in this training, because that's not what we are learning here. We are learning the best practices of SRE, right? Okay. Now, which one is the best? We talked about agile, we talked about hybrid, we talked about waterfall. Which one is the best approach? What do you think? From your experience, what do you think? Which one is the best approach? Waterfall, agile, or hybrid?
Whatever is best fit for my customer's current requirement.
How do you know that? Which one is the
So
best?
we evaluate, and then depending on that, like what state customer is at, what is best fit for them. That evaluation is done. After that,
Okay,
it is suggested
perfect. So
that
what
we should be
variables?
following this.
Perfect. What variables do you evaluate while deciding that which model should be adopted for this customer, this product? How do you evaluate that? Is it budget? Is it quality? Is it Scope
It is combination of
combination.
multiple things,
Mhm,
like what is the maturity of what client is doing right now, what are the expectation,
mhm,
what are the timelines
mhm.
they want their product, whatever features improvement they want us to work on.
Okay,
And yes, budget is obviously one of the major part we have to consider.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So let's understand this with the help of a chart. So I call it a Stacy chart. So let's suppose we have this x-axis and a y-axis, and we have this point called origin. Yeah. So this is origin. At origin, we have certainty about the product development. We are certain about what kind of product we want, right? We want to build this car. We are very clear. So this car is a hatchback. It's a hatchback car, right? We know what kind of engine we are going to have. So we very certain and very clear, right? If we move from left to right, then we are moving from clear things to unclear things. And if you move from bottom to up, we are moving from certainty to uncertainty. Let's consider this in a project dimension and let's divide it into three intervals. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now from origin at this point, if I'm sitting here, it means I'm very clear about what needs to be developed. So if I move from a little bit uncertainty and unclear expectations, and if I stop right here and join both the ones, at this point, this area, whatever project comes in this area, will be called as simple projects. If I move a little bit higher towards left and up, and if I join both the twos, then these are my complicated projects. If I move a little bit higher and if I join both the threes, this area called the complex projects. And then if I move a little bit higher, then this is a chaos. And I can call it a chaotic project. Are you guys with me? Yeah? All good so far? Perfect.
Yes, Nitin.
Now, if we see here in chaotic and complex projects, we use an approach called fail fast approach. Fail fast so that we can learn fast, and this fail fast is a concept of agile. Right? Now, chaotic projects are projects like where we have a lot of unknowns. Right? Now, what is the best example of chaotic project? COVID-19 was a best example of chaotic project. We had no idea what to do, how to do, when to do. So what we did, we failed fast. We learned from our failures, and then we came up with a lot of action items. Right? So in your chaotic project where things are very, there are a lot of unknowns in your project. Customer, they themselves do not know what they want to build. Complex environment where they have a high level understanding about what they want to build, but low level, they have no clue. In such environments, in such projects, you must adopt agile. That's where you want agile. In complicated and simple projects, you can have waterfall plus hybrid. You should not be implementing agile in simple projects or complicated projects because that's not the need, right? Agile is there only for complex and chaotic projects, as simple as that. Waterfall has its own drawbacks, agile has its own drawbacks. In agile we need customer engagement in each and every step. In waterfall we don't need that. Customer tells us what to build and we build it and then we deliver it. Customer engagement is not needed. In agile, customer is treated as one of the stakeholders, very important stakeholders. Customer is part of the agile umbrella, agile team. In waterfall, customer is not needed at all. They just provide the requirements and after that they are ready for the delivery. They are not engaged. Are you with me? Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Now let's talk about DevOps. Now, what's DevOps? Are you guys familiar with DevOps? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, everybody or anyone who's not familiar with DevOps? Guys, you have to participate, otherwise I'll assume that you know everything about it. So please share. Is there anyone who does not know anything about DevOps? Yeah, okay, I'll just give a quick brief. So development plus operations. We used to have two different teams earlier, traditionally, right? Now development used to develop the code, push it to the live environment. So development focus was, so this is a development environment and this is a live environment. So development used to develop the softwares and push their softwares and releases into the live environment. That was their focus. Push, write. That's what they used to do, right? Whereas operations, their focus was to make applications stable, available. That's what their focus was. And that's the reason they used to push the work to left. If there is any defect, if there is anything which is wrong in the live environment, they used to push those applications releases in a form of defect towards left. And that used to create a lot of friction in the environment. So they want to push right, they want to push left, and that's the reason we wanted them to work as one team, which is called DevOps now. Yeah, that's from that point DevOps was formed, and that's how these two teams have started working together, right? Now, in DevOps, we see that developers they plan, they design, they code, they test, and then they deploy. Now, here we came up with this idea that hey, why we are testing at the end? Why can't we test at each and every phase of software development? So what we did, we started shifting left. Shifting left. We call it shift left opportunities, right? So if you are ready with the plan, start testing. If you are ready with the design, start testing. If you are ready with the code of a certain unit, start testing, right? We also came up with this idea of checking security at each and every phase. So we also added security here in each and every step. So this way, DevOps got evolved to further DevSecOps. Okay, so you might are familiar with DevSecOps as well. Now after some time, we understood that okay, there is another need of operations team playing a role of SRE. What is SRE? SRE is thinking like a software engineer in an operations environment, in a live environment. It's all about thinking like a developer in a live environment, right? Now SRE says that, hey, can I be a part of your team, DevSecOps team? And DevSecOps understood that yes, that's something which is required to be more efficient, because these guys, these operations guys, they are more familiar with the live environment. Now, developers, they are familiar with the development environment. They are not much familiar with the live environment. These operations guys, they have a wisdom of truth, how the applications work in the real time world, right? And that experience we need, right? And that's where this SRE function got added in DevSecOps, and ideally it should have been called like DevSec SRE Ops. That's how it should have been called. But this looks less professional. This looks very complicated. So what they call it? They call it CI CD. Continuous integration, continuous deployment, continuous delivery. Okay, we will talk about CI CD in our upcoming slides, but that's how SRE came into the picture. Are you guys with me so far? Yeah? Any
Yes, Nitin.
questions?
Yes, yes, Nitin.
No questions? All right, then perfect. So let's go back to the slides.
One thing I would like to just add here, Nitin.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all these people have undergone SRE Foundation training.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope they would have a good amount of background about the things that you are explaining. Probably that is the reason you may not see much interaction from them. But as we go on to the advanced topic, things will start. There will be more interaction.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so now I'm here on the slides. I hope you all have this slide, yeah? It's a learner workbook. You guys have this material?
No, I don't think I have it.
Were they shared with us?
No? Yeah, that was supposed to be shared. You haven't got it? Let me just ask Raksha then.
Email is sent, right?
Yeah, email.
Yes, I think we got it
You got it?
just a few minutes ago.
Okay, perfect then. All right. So I'll go slide by slide. So you have this already. So if you want, you can launch it at your screen as well. Otherwise, I'm going it by the way. So yeah. So site reliability engineering is a discipline that incorporates aspects of software engineering and applies them to infrastructure and operations problem. Created at Google around 2003 and publicized by SRE Books. Right. So as we discussed in OneNote, it's all about a discipline thinking like a software engineer in a live environment. Just a second. Okay. Now, as a site reliability engineer, the goal is to create ultra scalable and highly reliable distributed software systems. They spend 50% of their work as ops related work, right? And spend rest of the 50% in development environment to understand how new features are getting built, right? How things are getting automated, right? How they can configure the monitoring systems, right? Which is the large part of SRE, right? So that's how SRE daily operations, daily operational activities are designed and planned. So you see here, the objective of site reliability engineering is scalability, availability, incident response, automation. If things go wrong, if there is any detection of alarm or alert, how quickly can we restore it? Right? That is also part of SRE.
Nitin, sorry to interrupt you,
Mhm.
but we all have not received the workbook.
No? Why is
No.
that? Just a second then. Let me ask
Okay,
Raksha. Yeah, let me ask
just check,
Raksha.
please. Thank you.
Guys, give me 1 minute, okay? I'm just going to call Raksha and then let me see what's wrong. Yeah, Raksha, participants are saying that they didn't receive any uh, the documents which I there are few participants who are complaining that they did not receive it. Yeah. Just a second. Let me give you their names. Who all have not received it, guys? Can you name yourself?
I
Uh,
have
I think
received
you
one
can.
email which has 4 attachments, but I don't think this has part of that.
So this workbook is not part of that attachment. That's what you're saying?
So can you confirm file name once again, please?
Okay, sure.
Workbook is not part of attachment.
Is that so? Okay. Okay, let me try sending it in the chat. Just a second. Let me try if I'm able to do that. Mm,
So the email which came from Raksha is having 4 attachments, but this